Hello, and welcome to the Smart Injury Doctors Podcast, the injury market's top program for doctors, lawyers, and insurers who want to gain greater insight on how to improve patient recovery results and deliver better services in the U.S. injury market. Please welcome your host, Dr. Jeffrey Allen Kronk.
All right, doctors, what I want to talk about today is lead with results in the spinal injury market. You want to lead with results in the spinal injury market. So if you do that, you don't have any competition because nobody does that. I've been a doctor of chiropractic for 32 years. I run an imaging service nationwide for spinal ligament injuries called Spinal Kinetics. They do a lot of training. I have an online doctor training program called the Smart Injury Doctors Program, and we teach doctors to lead with results. So what does that mean when I say lead with results? Well, you lead the biggest result. If a patient is injured in the injury market, what are they looking for? I don't care if that patient is an attorney, a medical doctor. In other words, that's their profession, an artist, an athlete, a student, a housewife, a stay-at-home dad. It doesn't matter what the patient is, what their occupation is, or what they do. When they're injured, what are they looking for? A lot of doctors and a lot of trainers throughout the country talk about the fact that the patients are all looking for money. I 1,000% disagree with that. In 17 years, I never had a patient come in and say, hey, look, I'd like to have headaches for my whole life so I can get, instead of $2,500 settlement, I'd like to get a $5,000 settlement and have headaches for the rest of my life. Because in today's injury market, that's what, okay, good. The difference between because the documentation that the majority of doctors have is not very good, that patient might, hey, I'm going to suffer with headaches for the rest of my life, and they got an extra $2,500. Who wants that? Nobody wants that. Not even the attorney wants that, right? Because it's super bad for the attorney's business. It has the attorney's job be very difficult. What everyone wants in the market is results. What are results? The patient results means great physical recovery. Fast, effective, cost-effective, fast as you possibly can, as full as you possibly can make it. Now, who is that good for? It's good for the patient, it's good for the insurer, it's good for the attorney, and it's good for the defense. It's good for everybody. Defense attorney might be the last one because maybe they're not needed as much. But it's good for the insurer. It's good for the employer. It's good for the insurer in the auto industry or auto injury area. It's good for the plaintiff attorney. It's good for the patient, and it's really good for you as a doctor. It's good for everybody. So lead with it. So many doctors out there lead with things like, "Hey, I'm going to increase claim value," and which basically you're almost stating, hey, I'm going to, increasing claim value means the patient doesn't do well under treatment because that's how you increase claim value. So, it's kind of like saying, hey, we don't get good results. We don't get good results. I understand it, and I understand that that's not the intention, and that's not the intention of the majority of doctors that are out there doing it. I just want to give you a different point of view. You want to lead with results. Look, the injury market it's huge. It's a huge market. Right, so if I look at the 2010 numbers, this is our 2013 numbers. It's a $820.6 billion market. So today, I don't know, 10 years later, that market might have doubled. It might be, 1.6 trillion. In 2010, it generated 252,000 medical visits a day. Injuries did. And the spine was the most injured. It's the number 1, number 4, and 6th leading cause of chronic pain and disability. So the same injuries generated in 2010, 16.3 million medical visits for neck pain. It generated 92 million visits, total visits, but 252,000 medical visits every single day for the injuries. And then when we get to the chronic side of things, just general neck pain, it generated another 16.3 million visits, and just general low back pain did 52.2 million visits. Like there is zero scarcity in this market. There's zero scarcity in the injury market and in the chronic pain market. Now, if we just look at some basic statistics, if we have whiplash reported in 2011, whiplash-associated disorder, musculoskeletal pain, and related clinical findings, it stated that 50% of the patients who had a whiplash injury never fully recovered, and 30% remained moderately to severely disabled by their condition. So the results are not very good, right? Now, I could go into a lot more results, but when I look at results for the patient, what does that mean to the patient? Well, if the patient, according to the American Pain Society, has chronic low back pain in their low back guidelines, it's going to cost the patient $9,000 to $19,000 annually just to medically manage the condition. U.S. Pain Foundation stated that people with severe pain spent $7,726 more on annual healthcare expenditures than people with no pain. The American Headache Society said patients with migraine had a total annual mean cost that was $8,924 higher than the demograph similar individuals, right? I'm going to lead with results. Now, I'm going to lead with results because that's what people want. They want results, right? Now, nice thing is, as a chiropractor, I can look at a lot of studies on chronic pain. Hey, Devachet in 2005 reported that if they went under chiropractic spinal manipulative care, 87% improvement. Lehman in 2014 reported 95% improvement. This is in chronic. Cifuentes in 2011 reported that medical management of mechanical spine pain had a 250% increase in disability or duration. Shikori et al. In 2018 compared common treatments to lumbar disc herniation. Chiropractic care is 37,000 to 148,000 times safer than nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, and 55,000 to 444,000 times safer than surgery. So I am going to talk about results. My clinic, I'm going to talk about results. If I'm going to employers, it's all about results. If I'm going to unions, it's all about results. If I'm going to offices, giving spinal education programs to attorneys, it's all about results. Everything I do is going to be all about results. Now, the reason why it's going to be all about results is because that's what I want to be known for. I want to be known for results. And the results are very simple. The results are good. I get the patient's condition fully identified. And when I fully identify the patient's condition and I do a good job with documentation, it allows those that are adjudicating any claim to quickly determine the value and the benefits that the patient may be entitled to. My job as a doctor is not to determine what those are. My job is just to document so people have an easier time determining it. That's it. Now, once I have all the injuries documented, and are they permanent? I have the effects on the patient's life. I have what we did in treatment. I have the results of what we did in treatment all down. And I actually have what future need the patient may have, how this all listed out beautifully. And I got great physical recovery results. The patient was under my care for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 10 months, a year. And they don't have any issues. They feel fully recovered. They don't feel like they have any pain anymore, any problems. Remember, doctors, if you injure your shoulder, do you want to go to a clinic where they say, well, you know what? Here's the best you're going to do is you're going to have pain with this for the rest of your life. Is that the clinic you want to go to? Or do you want to go to the place that says, oh, yeah, we can rehabilitate this, and our goal, we do it regularly, is to get you completely 100% functional, no functional loss, if possible, and no pain problems. Would a baseball player that's a baseball pitcher, professional pitcher, would he want to injure his arm and go to a clinic where they get crappy results? So you got to lead with results. I know this is foreign in the injury market. So few clinics lead with just results. As a matter of fact, at one point I looked at a website. We were going to develop a website that basically showed patients where to go, because we would provide scoring for providers who could get results. So the market would know who gets good results, because the doctors that get good results, I have a smart injury doctors program, and I've said for years, the injury work that doctors do, if doctors do really good injury work and they get great results, they should be the highest paid doctors in the market, bar none. The chiropractors that get really great injury recovery results should be the highest paid doctors in the market, because you're saving everybody money. You're saving the insurer money. You're saving the patient money, both in the short term and in the long term. You're saving the attorneys a lot of time and money, because they can resolve cases quicker. So everybody wins with results. So that's what you want to promote. You want to promote results. Now, it's not hard to do that. It's not hard to go out and promote results, even if you're doing injury talks with attorneys, injury talks with insurers, injury talks with MDs. That's what you want to be talking about. That's what should be the magnetic force that you're using to attract others, referrals, attract business to you. Everything should be about results. So again, I have a smart injury doctors program. That's what we teach doctors, and I believe that the smart injury doctors that we have trained in our program, I will put up against any doctors in the market as a group and say they're going to get better results, because they understand a few things. One, they understand the injuries, and they understand what they're working up, and they're not tied to just disc herniations. Oh my God, if somebody's going to continue to tell me that 3 disc herniations or 5 disc herniations, 3 in the cervical spine and 2 in the lumbar spine that generally herniate, is going to actually give the clinical picture of everything that the patient has going on, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense to anybody, and it's not true. The spinal support ligament injury is probably a far more important injury than the disc herniation. And at very least, it shouldn't be actually minimized, because it causes more symptoms. It causes more long-term problems, and it has to be understood. That's what our smart injury doctors understand. They understand the injuries. When you understand the injuries, you're going to get better results, because results come from 2 things. 1, therapeutic application, and 2, education to the patient. If a patient has diabetes, right, insulin's going to be great. You can teach them how to, hey, inject this amount, this many milliliters. Here's how you take it out of the bottle. Here's how you draw it up into the syringe, poke it in your stomach, shoot it in, and you're going to be good to go. All right, that's great. But unless you teach the patient about what is diabetes, what should they do with their diet, what should they do to help themselves, you've lost 50% of the actual treatment results, because you're not educating the patient. So when you have a spinal injury, the doctor who can educate the patient about what this injury is and what they can do to minimize their own situation is super valuable, because you're going to get a hell of a lot better results than the doctors that aren't doing that. But you have to understand your injuries. You have to understand it to do that. So, the key thing here is that you want to lead with results. Results, results, results. If I drop down and I plunk down a new chiropractic clinic, I don't care where it is. My main goal is to produce the best results of any clinic in my community. That's it. I'm going to be at the highest level, top 2%. If I got another 2%er right next to me, who cares? Very unusual, but who cares? Good. We'll both do a hell of a lot of business, because there's no scarcity of people that need the services. Remember, the same thing that causes acute pain in the injury state causes chronic pain. And I got just in the injury market alone, right? Just if I just look at that injury market all by itself, right? I look and say, okay, it's an $820 billion market. There's 252,000 medical visits every day for injuries, right? Those injuries generate, these are old statistics. These are like 2010 statistics. 16.3 million medical visits for neck pain, 52 million visits for low back pain. Low back pain is the first Neck is the fourth, and headaches are the sixth leading cause of pain and disability in the market today. If I gave you a set of glasses where you could actually see chronic pain patients, and I put them on you and you walked out into the world, you'll go, oh my God, how could I ever struggle building a practice? Well, you're struggling building a practice if you're not focused on results. Results should be your leading mantra. Anyway, doctors, what I do on these podcasts is kind of get to a point, short, sweet, and to the point. Hopefully it impacts you a little bit to think about something, or if you've been off a little bit and you've been working on other things that you're marketing, come back to the basics, which is always going to be results. Come back to reorganize, get great results. If you get great results in your clinic, you're going to have a staff that promotes the hell out of your clinic. They'll promote the hell out of your clinic. And like I said, we have a Smart Injury Doctors program. We have internal materials to help doctors promote, and there's staff to help promote what they're doing and why people should come to them over some other place. And it's all about results. Results, results, results. So doctors, if you're interested in our program, you want to check us out, go to smartinjurydoctors.com or call us at 800-940-6513. We also have a free Facebook user group, Smart Injury Doctors Practice Building Success Network. And you can just look us up. Join that. Doctors, as usual, I really appreciate your time, your attention, and I look forward to delivering more content to you on the next podcast.
You've been listening to the Smart Injury Doctors Podcast, the #1 audio production show for professionals in the U.S. injury market that want to deliver better injury services to the patients, clients, or insureds they serve. If you like what you heard today, please leave us a review and don't forget to join us on our next program.